Yeah, I know.
And we are back with another episode.
Yes,
this is the Laidback
And loud.
podcast. We've been consistent.
Yeah, bro.
We're killing it.
We're killing
and,
it. Every week.
The feedback I'm getting is...
Bro, we've been... You man are... You're giving us motivation right now.
I swear to God, the level of motivation we have for this shit is crazy. And like,
yeah, it's mental.
It's mad because off camera, because we're such close friends, energy's crazy. And that's why we started the podcast. I feel like that's where it started. Like, the energy's crazy.
Yeah.
Some of the conversation we have, I wish we had it on tape, you know?
Yeah. But there's some conversation, you know, we like to cherish there's some memory. Yeah, no.
Take the mic away from this guy, bro.
I'm turning it off. I couldn't even turn it off. Anyway, I was trying to say is obviously some conversations we like to keep between ourselves because you know, just memories and that.
Real
you know?
shit,
but
real shit. Yeah.
You get majority of what we basically talk about if we were alone. Our podcast is literally just us talking. There's just a camera there. Yeah,
and it's like the feedback that we're getting is like, whoa, this is like a real friendship
100%.
on camera, just real talk. Yeah. And I think like people love that shit. People appreciate that shit. It's not like scripted. We're not trying to hit a certain like target or certain audience.
We're not trying to clip farm.
I'm about to crash.
Like, I'm about to crash out. I'm about to crash Anyway.
Did you clock the joke I'm trying to make?
Oh, what?
Nah, like I'm about to cry, so I'm holding onto the handle. Okay, oh my God, this guy is 2 steps behind, bro.
I'm 2 weeks behind. Fucking hell, anyway. As you can see...
Software update. Windows 11.
Windows 11. This car needs a fucking update.
Nah, your car's cool.
Anyway,
cool, man.
Anyway, yeah, change of scene. We're in the whip today.
Yeah.
We're in my car. This is just a random podcast. I'm telling you, we're gonna do like different shoots in different locations, wherever you feel like we want to. Bro. Like,
sorry.
Try as you could.
No. Because I was looking back right into the previous episode, and the number of times you started, bro, you need to pattern up. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, I kind of like that. No homo.
Why is that no homo, bro? Bro said he likes my stuttering. Crazy. It's so weird, bro.
This podcast has gone off the rails. Anyways,
he had a coffee before we recorded this.
Yeah, I've had too much coffee.
He's had too much caffeine in his system.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're just gonna do random locations, and this is one random location.
I swear I didn't take anything before this. I'm literally haven't laughed, but I see this guy.
Look how he's holding on to the thing, bro. Look how he's holding on to the thing. He's like, I promise I haven't taken anything. He thinks the car is moving. Why is he holding on? I didn't know.
What the fuck is going on? No, it's just funny. Like, we're in a car doing a podcast.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's funny. It's funny. I don't think I've seen anyone do a podcast in a car before. We're hitting that niche.
Sorry. Down the line before the... Nah, I'm joking. That joke... Okay, that bit is getting cut out, bro. Alright, anyways. Today's episode is actually very serious. I know I'm laughing. I'm dying behind the camera, but it's a real topic that we have a couple.
Yeah, we have a couple serious topics we're going to get into. But we wanted to say this first things first. We're recording this on Father's Day. So this will be posted a bit later than Father's Day, but happy belated Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, all the young men as well. Like, I went to church today. Everyone was saying, people were saying Happy Father's Day to me.
Really?
Yes, that's the level of like, I feel like it's a day to celebrate men. Because we are future fathers, you know? I think it's a beautiful thing, but yeah.
But it is more time for obviously celebrating the fathers, the ones that, you know, we look up to.
100%.
All of those people. And obviously to all the like fathers that have passed away and all of that. Like,
for real, man.
They're still gonna be fathers, whether in this life or the next.
100%. And it's a very special month to celebrate. I think men, because I feel like men don't get any attention in sort of like.
I wouldn't say any attention.
They get less. Little, they get way less. In terms of like, oh, we don't give a fuck about. That's how it feels like. I feel like men feel like, they don't give a fuck about us, but at the same time, we don't give a fuck about that. So it goes to some of us.
Yeah,
you know?
some of it it's a small percent of people
Obviously,
that feel like that. But
we're gonna like dissect it because
we're gonna get deep into it.
Yeah. Because when I'm putting forward these opinions, obviously some of them feel like they're not being well thought out, but it is a feeling that is mutual amongst men, because some men might look at what's going on with like the mental health month. That's like men's mental.
Yeah. It's not just me.
Yeah, wait. This guy.
It's not just me.
It's him. He threw me off. This guy, bro. No. I look at his face and he's like, fuck, man.
What about doing? I'm being as normal as I can be.
A fucking Colombian. I'm in a Colombian's car, bro.
No, because I had to. The second episode, he decided to change the title and put Colombia, bro. Am I in America? What is going on? It's Colombia.
It's the first time I had to spell like Colombia in my life. So
and he works as a teacher as well.
Hey, man.
That's a big L.
This guy, bro. Spell Persian.
So Persian. Persian.
Okay. You passed the test.
Simple.
Anyways,
yeah. We're recording this during Men's Mental Health Month. That's kind of like the segue we're trying to get into. 100%. We're going to speak about men's mental health.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an important topic. Not to say that any other like mental health or any other person's mental health is important. But
100%. But it is an important month because of the statistics, because of how real this is, you know? And
how serious it gets.
Yeah, I was looking at the statistics, and they said it out in church today as well. 70% of the suicide rates that we're seeing now are men.
Damn.
70.
That's high.
And think of... And you would think it's young men, which it is, a large percentage is young men.
Yeah.
But there's also a percentage of older men.
I think I saw
40
that.
to 60.
Yeah, that's...
Which is kind of crazy. So it does apply to men from all ages.
Yeah.
But we are going to dive into it, like why we think it is a problem in society now, or I think it's just more apparent now.
Yeah.
And it's more talked about now.
Yeah.
But it is a tough time, I feel like, for men as well, like mentally, because there's a change in how society's developing. I think we're going to dive into that as well.
Yeah, people's opinions do affect, like, I guess, the way men think.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but like for me, I think we think very direct. We're very like straightforward. Like for an example, if like, like, alright, like for example, if we have a situation in which like there's like a problem or something, where our minds will go straight to trying to figure out the problem because we want to
solution to restart from that point.
Yeah. So
good boy.
Okay. End of podcast. Done.
And it's supposed to be talking about men's mental health month, bro. No, it's not a joke, honestly. We're gonna get serious with this shit, but we need to get the laughter out. I feel like there's too much in my stomach right now, bro. I'm too like...
This guy's cooked.
The coffee is hitting me, bro. Anyways, maybe men should drink more coffee. And they'll be like me, happy.
No, I cannot drink coffee, bro. It doesn't really affect me, and I just get heart palpitations.
Yeah.
So coffee's not for me.
Get the do-doon. That's good though. That means you need to go to the gym. Go to the gym. You need to go to the gym. Yeah. Anyway. Alright, wait. Let's restart. Okay.
Yeah. Alright.
Today I'm gonna restart, like unlayer it, like from the beginning.
Unlayer it.
Unlayer it, because this like an onion.
Unlayered and unfiltered.
Like an onion. Like mental health is like an onion. You need to unlayer it. You need to layer it.
You need to take off each layer, and as you get to each layer, you get to the core of the problem. Once you reach the core, that's where it gets deep.
I don't really like onions though.
I love onions.
I'm joking. I love onions. That was a lie.
Yeah, bro.
I'm lying for the podcast. Podcast.
He's trying to clip farm. So everything we said in the intro.
Alright, let's restart. Let's restart.
Alright, anyway.
Today's episode is about men's mental health, and also it is Father's Day.
It is Father's Day.
Shout out to all the fathers.
Shout out to fathers.
Yeah.
Shout. I can't. What's going on?
We're not gonna get through this episode.
We're not getting through this episode. I promise you. Spit Friday, bro. I forgot about that, bro. I forgot about that. Oh my
I
days.
can't do this podcast, man.
Where the fuck was that from? Where the fuck did it come from again, bro? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
You know who said it.
Wait, no.
Mingy promise me.
Mingy promise me.
Holy shit.
Oh, can you tell we're very serious about mental health? Fucking hell, bro.
You know we can't do a serious episode. I feel like.
Nah, man.
Nah, man.
Nah, man.
When he went to jail, you're like, nah.
Oh. He's getting hot in his car, bro. Goddamn.
Look at my face. I'm tearing up.
Fucking hell, I can't reach the handle.
Yo. Yo, I was supposed to go to the gym. I'm getting a workout in the car. Alright, wait.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah.
There's no workout in this.
What do you want me to do?
Roll down the window.
Don't you roll down the window?
Don't you open up that window? Nah, man. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. Yeah, it's getting hot, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put down this one.
Yeah, we're gonna drive.
Yeah, should we drive?
Nah, this ain't no Tesla, bro. What the fuck? I'm gonna crash.
That autopilot, bro. We'll just go straight.
We're gonna go into that
We're gonna
van.
go straight into the van.
Alright. Cool.
Alright, let's.
Fuck me, man.
I'm gonna keep all of that in though. Well, majority of it. You're gonna see how many times it takes for us to fucking restart and talk about a topic.
It's gonna be the episode is gonna be like a 10-hour episode, right?
This is gonna
and it's gonna be like men's mental health, and it's gonna be like the 10 hours of them attempting to start
to talk about a topic.
Yeah, men attempting to like fuck. Good.
Men attempted to fuck. That's crazy. And this episode's not going on.
Men attempted to talk about mental health. It's not going on.
Oh my days. No, I'll keep some of that in. You can see how we actually think. Anyway.
Holy fuck.
So yeah, as we said before, this is about men's mental health.
I haven't been crying. I've been laughing. If you cut this out.
Yeah, if you recall back to one of the episodes we posted, we said that whenever Ben laughs like crazy hard, he starts crying.
Yeah, bro. This shit's fucking hilarious.
Tears of joy.
Well, the topic we're talking about is not hilarious, but
basically all the shit we just tried and do. Oh my god. Alright, we need to get serious. We need to get serious. Alright, cool. Yeah, we're talking about.
Wow, yeah, dead ends. We're going to the podcast. Sorry.
We're never getting this done. This is not good now.
Alright.
Alright, cool. So yeah, this episode, men's mental health.
Stop the recording, bro. This is not coming up. Alright.
Oh my god. Alright, you need to look in.
Alright.
Cool.
Today's episode is about men's mental health, and it's a special month because I feel like it's a topic that men don't really talk about, and it doesn't get much attention, but it has been getting more attention over the years. That's why we have it as a thing now, you know?
I feel like, men's mental health has not been particularly spoken about throughout history, to be honest. Men's mental health, men are just meant to be like on a generic term, the stereotype is men is like they're the breadwinners. They're not meant to have that many emotions. They're meant to go out, work hard,
be strong, work hard, succeed in life,
get the money,
provide,
provide for family, all of that. But
and be a rock for like the family.
Be an emotional rock for everyone. Obviously, there's a big toll that comes with that, which is your own mental health.
There's a lot of pressure, man, for sure.
It's definitely been spoken about more and more. People are becoming more aware of men's mental health, which is, I think, is a good thing, and it's. I think
most men of this generation feel very comfortable talking about it, which is, I think, it's powerful.
Yeah. But I feel like that has to do with more of the younger generation.
Yeah, the younger generation.
Because of the way they grow up, they've grown up in obviously now where we have Men's Mental Health Month and. People are trying to get you more comfortable with talking about your mental health.
There's no stigma about it. But the way I see it, it's not even that there shouldn't have been a stigma in the first place, because it's the same thing as your physical health. Because you got a brain, right? Brain health, emotional health,
mental,
physical health. All of it. You know what I mean? It's complete.
And they all coincide with one another. If you're not feeling okay mentally, it's going to affect your physical health as well, because you're obviously going to start not caring and that. It just... all of these factors, they play in.
Plus, I have studied it in in uni, so I do see like the scientific medical side as well.
Yeah.
So we are gonna like dive into it, and I'm also gonna debunk. I'm gonna give some opinions on antidepressants as well, which is gonna be interesting. Even though it's not I'm not a doctor, so don't take my opinion lightly on that.
This is just our opinions and what we think.
Before we get into that, I want to say Happy Father's Day.
Yes.
You know, shout out to all the fathers that work hard, that provide. And
to those who have, you know, unfortunately, like, they lost their fathers and all of that, we wish them Happy Father's Day as well, because they won't stop being fathers.
100%.
And they will always still be role models.
They'll still be there in your heart and in there.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah,
it's a great month, honestly.
It's a good month.
We have Father's Day, and then we got mental. I don't know. Did they set that up on purpose? You think?
I don't know.
Men's mental health and Father's Day as well, in one.
I'm not sure. Maybe it just felt. Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Shout out to whoever set that up, man. That's a good month.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Because even I went to church, right, and people saying Happy Father's Day to me.
That's crazy.
Which I'm guessing it might be because they're kind of saying it to my father, or maybe.
Or maybe they saw you as mature, that maybe you look mature enough that you probably had.
Yeah, but I think it's celebrated. It was about celebrating men.
Yeah, it was
in general.
More,
how much we take on. Even young men, I feel like we do take on a lot as well.
Yes,
so
we do.
Even to succeed, to get a degree, or to get a job, or to start earning money, or pay rent, or help out your family, there's pressure there as well. From a young age, So we are going to dive into that, and we're going to talk about
we'll talk about a few of our own experiences. We're not going to get too deep in our personal lives because
the stats
it's personal.
The stats are that.
Yeah, we'll give our opinions and we'll relate some like real life situations to our own experiences and how we've learned to deal with things and all of that.
Hey man, it's important to talk about, and the stats are that 70% of the suicide rates, I think this is as recent as it gets, are men. So that's actually
very high.
That's quite high, and
high.
and it doesn't even discriminate in terms of age. Like, you think it will be a lot of young men, which there is, but it also is a lot of men between 40s and 60s when they hit that midlife crisis.
So be sure to check on all those.
Yeah, so this applies
to the men in your life within those age ranges.
So this applies to like all ages, and also for the ladies out there as well, because the advice that we give will help you as well, which is kind of crazy, because us sharing our experiences doesn't it applies to everyone. You know what I mean?
It's not. We're not just trying to talk about just. Obviously, we are going to talk about men's mental health. That is going to be the main point, but it's not as if men's mental health is the only thing that matters.
100%.
It's obviously women's mental health, and every single person's mental health matters.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have a month dedicated to men's mental health, just 100%. Because it's been like shown that our mental health isn't talked about enough. Yeah. So.
And I don't know where I saw this, but like it was a post celebrating, like, if you made it to if you're 20, 24 or whatever, or 25 or whatever, you're lucky, because a lot of men have passed away through suicide. So obviously we will try not say that word, because YouTube likes to flag it as like as not suitable for all audiences. But I think we are gonna have it in a way where it's more of like it's more for like educational reasons. We're trying to bring light. I saw videos, podcasts where they haven't even talked about anything graphic, and it got flagged.
Yeah, it gets flagged.
So I don't want that to happen to our video, because I want it to really reach out to a high number of people.
This is for educational reasons. We're trying to bring light to a very serious topic. We're not making fun of anything to do with suicide, or anything to do with mental health, or anything to do with that. This is
we might bleep it. I'm not gonna lie. We might bleep the S word, because we want this video to have the highest number of highest impact.
We want to reach people, and hopefully.
I wish it was in a way,
give people a way to see this video and be like, yes, my mental health matters as well, because it does. All of you, it does. Yeah.
And I wish we could talk about it freely without YouTube being like, this is not suitable. But I do understand that it can be.
I get it. It could be very triggering. It's a very triggering word.
It is. So,
a very triggering word.
Giving you guys a heads up, we're not talking about anything crazy. So you will enjoy this podcast, and you will take away lessons from this, and it won't only be focused on this, because we talk about everything. And life is such a broad thing where one life experience could apply to whatever you're going through. And exactly. I think I mentioned that in the podcast the previous episode. I said the things that we talk about will relate to you, and it might be very relatable to your current situation. So,
exactly, it's true.
Hey man, and if you're seeing this video, it's like it should. I have a feeling it's a sign that it reached you for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, you're watching this
Everything
for a reason.
happens for a reason, guys.
Yeah,
everything happens
I'm a
for a
firm
reason.
believer in that. Oh.
See, everything about this podcast is right. Like, this is laid back and loud. It's more of a laid back episode, but we're being loud on a very important subject. We're bringing
By
it
the
back
way,
to it. Huh?
I wanna dissect this term, men's mental health, or mental health in general. That is not just the extreme, like, version where it's a disease that it's become unhealthy in terms of it's become depression or whatever. We can talk about having good mental health, and it's like it's not like it's like a spectrum in a way, right?
Well, I mean, mental health doesn't have. It's not always.
It's not like a.
It's not a negative thing.
Yeah, it's not a negative thing.
As in, not everything about mental health is negative. There's also very good things about mental health. Like, you could have very good mental health.
It's not a crystallized term, and I want you guys to take it in that way, that this is not a crystallized term.
I feel like
it's like a bar. It's like a bar, you know, like a health bar.
Like a health bar.
In a game,
it can be
right?
very low, very high.
And I think that's lit, man.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah, you gotta take care of your mind and your soul, and then we will dive into that as well. Topics like religion might even drop into this shit. All right, so I think we mentioned the statistics is it's really, really high. So,
it is really high. I mean,
what do you know about? What have you heard about the statistics?
Well, I've heard like similar figures to that. Like, usually it is men that tend to end their lives
in very tragic ways. In
very tragic ways and very sad circumstances. Like, there's a lot of videos I see on the internet of like men on top of a bridge, and like they're getting talked down to by police, and all these situations. Whenever I see videos like that pop up, is usually a man that's standing on that bridge or something like that. Like, I remember seeing this influencer, right? He had really bad mental health when he was going through when he was younger. He attempted to take his life, but once he landed in the water after jumping off the bridge, he actually survived. And in that moment, he realized how much he felt like his life is worth. And from then, he's been being such a big advocate for mental health, not just men's mental health, but any person's mental health. He's released books, he does talks, he does communities. Like, it's really good.
Beautiful,
he's able to like turn his life around, and he's a really good he's a really good role model to have, because if you have bad mental health, use him as an example. You can change your life 100%. Around.
And it's very inspirational when someone hits like truly rock bottom, and they come out of that and they blossom into this beautiful person that is inspiring and saving others, and I think being a light for others when they used to be in the darkness themselves.
Exactly.
And I think it's actually very beautiful when a person can genuinely relate to your experience and know what you're going through. Because if you talk about something, you know, let's say you talk about your issues with someone who can't relate to it, they can kind of like sit there and empathize with you and stuff like that, but they might not know how you truly feel.
Yeah, that's true.
This is why I think this podcast might be very, very interesting and helpful for you guys. Hopefully, is that we've both gone through like like periods of depression in our life.
We've had our fair share of mental health. Like, if we're like, we can dive into
it later on.
I have suffered from depression, anxiety, all of that. I wouldn't say bipolar, but my fluctuation in moods do change a lot.
Yeah.
But like all these things, like I had my like rock bottom and all of that, and you know, I'm still climbing up. We're getting out of it. I don't know about you. Have you like suffered from stuff like that before? Like,
this guy's turning to my therapist. Nah, bro, I'm joking. Bro. No, listen. I have gone through it as well, but what I've realized is it's a natural thing. It's a natural process, especially when you're really young and you're trying to figure life out. You're trying to figure out who you are. There's that like identity crisis, and then also it might be family related as well. Just depends on the situation. There's different reasons why it could happen. But mine was getting homesick and studying too much. Which is going to be interesting to some of you guys, because everyone has a different way they've gone down that path, and
that's what I mean.
Interesting to talk about.
I've always said that mental health, like it should always be taken seriously, because people can obviously go through a lot worse situations than other people. However, a person who, like, let's say they failed a test, and then that's what drives them to like be
it can be anything.
Depressing. Like, everything matters, no 100%. Matter how small it is. It does matter. Like. It shouldn't be disregarded at all. Yeah,
the worst thing, I think, the worst thing is when it is disregarded and it is shunned upon, and you're seen as weak for going through that.
Exactly. Yeah.
If anything, I've been taking it in a way where I see it as a strength, because I think like to be vulnerable, to be able to face whatever you're going through, your situation, your emotion, head on and like take it on, is a very strong thing to do. And even in your darkest moments, in your lowest moments, that is strength, you know, to face that. So
use it.
Yeah, man. And we're going to talk about how we can, as people, get over that, advice that we would give as well, how we overcame that, because obviously you have your own, everyone has their own way.
Everyone has their own way, and everyone's in their own situations. 100%. Obviously it might take you a bit longer to get out of the hole that you might feel like you're in, but
the darkness.
Whether you can build yourself a ladder to get out of it, or you can get someone to throw you a ladder down, get the help you need.
Yeah, man.
You guys will get out of that hole. I know everyone will, man.
Yeah. And shout out to Jesus and God, because for a lot of people that's what saves them as well. Even though for some people,
religion is a big thing.
Yeah.
Is a big thing.
Because when you have no one to turn to, who are you gonna turn to other than God? You know. But for some people in their minds, that is not an option, and that's never been a thing that they go to. But
I mean, whether you believe in not just like Christianity, but any religion, like you know, it's obviously religion could be something that you could look into to maybe help you get out
100%.
of it. I'm not saying you have to. You're not saying that could be the answer to all your issues, because it might not be. But you know, like I'm guessing for you, like finding that religion kind of like helped a little bit, you know?
I mean, it was more so at the time, it was like spirituality, meditating, going to the gym and stuff like that. But we're gonna dive into that. Starting with the first segment, I think we're gonna talk about the silent crisis. So why do men suffer in silence? Like why do we not talk about our problems? Why does it feel unnatural? Why is there stigma around it? Why is there a negative connotation? Or why is there like a confrontation or negative?
Why does it have to be labelled as a confrontation? That's the bad thing.
No, we are confronted. What I mean by that, we're confronted.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be like labelled as a confrontation. Like we shouldn't have to someone shouldn't have to confront us because we're not speaking about something. It should be more of a conversation or confrontation. You know.
Well, what I meant is you get confronted because you've talked about it.
Yeah.
In a negative way. So is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it shouldn't be. Yeah, it shouldn't be labelled.
Communication is key.
Exactly.
So why do you think most men don't talk about it? Like what is it like? Obviously there's that stigma, but
I think it's just that stereotype that, you know, we're meant to be strong. Obviously it's a really bad stereotype, but obviously back in like probably like 19th, 18th century, all the men weren't meant to show emotions. You're meant to get up and be a man, like man up. That phrase was used throughout probably all those times, trying to get men to be stronger. And that
it's not a bad thing to say inherently, but when someone's struggling, it doesn't do anything.
It
doesn't do anything.
They're not gonna be like, oh wow, I'm fine now. Let's go.
It's like your dog died, man up.
Cool.
Or like your mum passed away, man up.
Yeah, those things.
You know what I mean? It's crazy, isn't it?
You're allowed to like show emotions. Like it's just is what your brain has. Is what literally your brain has built these emotions.
100%.
It's part of human nature to experience emotions.
You
experience happiness, but no one tells you to be sad when you experience happiness.
I'll tell you. Do you want to talk about? Sorry to cut you off. Do you want to talk about it? Why did you? So I'm guessing you were very vocal about it, as far as I know, with the people around you, and I think after a certain point you start being vocal. But what? Yeah, did you struggle being vocal about it? Did you struggle talking about it and stuff?
Well,
what was your experience?
My experience is I've never really spoke about like what I was going through and what I was suffering like from. I told like you and a couple of like our mates, like I told them like kind of like a base level thing of what I was experiencing at the time, but like in depth I still haven't really like spoken to someone in depth about how I'm feeling usually. And probably the person that I've probably confided in the most is my girlfriend. She's been the one that she probably knows a lot more about me than I do myself, like on a level. Like she knows a lot. She's always there. She's always there supporting me. She kind of helped me start being a bit more vocal.
That's beautiful, man.
She's like, you know, if you're experiencing this, you shouldn't stay quiet about it. And she's seen me have my really bad days.
Moments,
she's been there through probably my darkest moment and all of that as well.
Yeah.
So all of these things, like, she helped me build up the confidence to speak up a bit, and I'm doing that slowly. I'm still building up to speak more and more with other people, but it's good to use people. It's good to use people, especially people that are close to you. Don't
people
be
that
afraid
care
to
about
use
you,
someone as an outlet, man. This is another thing. My girlfriend tells me that there's people around me that care about me.
100%.
And there is probably going to be more than one person in this world. Even if it's just that one person in the world that cares about you, someone cares about you in this 100%. World. We care about you, man.
We care about you guys.
We care about you guys a lot.
Yeah, of course.
You know, the fact that you are
showing love to us. We have the same level of love. You're spending your time, which is very valuable, by the way.
Time is a very valuable asset. Not just it's probably one of the most valuable assets of all time.
Yeah, man.
And the fact that you guys are taking an hour, 2 hours out of your day to 100%. Sit down and watch our episodes as we drop them, and you're interacting with us.
Shout out to all the viewers, man.
Yeah, shout out to everyone who sent us messages complimenting our journey so far and all of that, and it's only up from here.
This is more like a laid back episode.
It's a laid back.
Yeah, man.
It's what I said before. It's a laid back, but we're being loud on a really important subject.
I think we are gonna have little moments in there where we bust jokes just to
keep the
lighten up the mood.
Yeah, we don't want everyone to be watching this feeling
I'm about to crash. Sorry.
Like that. We don't.
There's a missile in my car. In my car?
There's
a missile in my pants.
It's a fucking bullet.
Let's move away from this topic. Shout out to everyone that's watching. We're gonna come up with a name. Should we come up with a name for the viewers?
For the fans.
For the fans.
That would be
it's
hard.
Tough, innit? Yeah. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, and if you guys have.
Oh, there's no mascot. We forgot the mascot.
The mascot.
No, Pickle Rick. But Pickle Rick can't hear this. Maybe it's not good.
Pickle Rick's on holiday.
He's on holiday.
Damn.
We shipped him for a bit.
He's
been working overtime with us.
To be fair, he's been travelling all around London to try and be. We decided to give a little break today.
Yeah, man. It's cool.
But next time, I think we can do another episode in the podcast and we'll sit right in the middle here.
He'll be there. He'll be right there. Or in the back chilling,
Or in the back chilling. Just
imagine him. Just imagine.
He's here with us in spirit, guys.
In spirit, you know what I mean?
In spirit.
Yeah.
But honestly, the love we've been getting so far has been honestly amazing. It's motivating us to keep making these episodes and to keep putting more effort. Keep talking about. We want to talk about more serious things.
These topics are very important to talk about.
Yeah, these topics are very important. It's nice to bring light to a very shady subject. It should be spoken about more, and 100%. I love how the world is starting to come accustomed to speaking more.
Yeah.
People are learning to talk.
We're just more educated. We become more educated and more open to talk about these things.
It's sorry to interrupt. It's going back to the previous episode when talking about social media. Again, we're posting this on social media. Social media has very good positive effects as well. Just bringing light to subjects like
100%. Because obviously you can reach thousands or millions with a message, and that's powerful too. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, those were kind of my experiences with speaking.
So you have become more. You feel like you're becoming stronger. In your position to talk about it.
Yeah, my position to talk about and to confront my emotions. Your own. Definitely. How have you been able to overcome or how are you being with speaking out?
For me it was. I think I was very in that mindset of oh, I'm a man. I should be strong, and it felt like a very. When I was going through something, I couldn't process it. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Until I searched it up online, and obviously I think that's a very. By the way, that's a very dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, it's not good to search up symptoms. And that, they will tell you. For example, you'll get a paper cut and you're like, why is it hurting so much? And you'll Google it and be like, you'll get an infection. You're gonna go into fucking shock.
You're gonna have
that.
Sepsis and shit.
All this shit.
I remember searching up. I have a really bad migraine or headache, and they're it could be a tumor.
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro? I'm dying.
If you have concerns, speak to a doctor because that's what they're trained to do.
I'm dying. Anyway, editor, by the way, he has to cut a lot of shit up.
Yes.
Anyways, my experience, I was very in that mindset of whoa, I don't feel comfortable talking about this, even with the closest people in my life, because I feared it myself.
Really?
I didn't know what was going on, and I was like,
yeah.
So my backstory was, I think we'll jump into what really happened. But I felt like I couldn't tell anyone. I felt like I was going crazy, and I was the Joker. Going crazy, and no one can really understand what I'm going through. And if I talked about it, that people are gonna put me in the hospital. They're gonna fucking they're gonna put me in a straight jacket, ship me to a fucking psych
Mental
ward and shit.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't even that real, but I knew if I talked about it, it would come across as that, and it would be misunderstood. So I never really talked about it until I overcame it myself. Now, I made the personal decision to overcome it by myself. That is not a good thing to do, in my opinion. I mean,
I wouldn't say
going back, I kind of do appreciate that I did it by myself, that I was able to like save myself, but I wish that I told like someone like you or Max. Yeah. And I think I did call you. I think I called you.
You called me a couple times to talk about
I called him, but at the same time I was like, even talking to you about it, it still wasn't helping. Which is kind of crazy, but
I mean, it's not to say. Obviously, preferably it'd be really good to use like outlets, like people you have around you to talk about. 100%. If you feel like you need to like overcome something by yourself,
there's ways you can do it.
There's ways you can do it, and it's not entirely negative.
Yeah, I'm very proud of myself for being able to overcome by myself. But if I was to go back, I would have.
I would say don't feel like you have to get over it yourself.
100%. Because when I did open up,
maybe try to get over it yourself, but don't feel like you have to.
Yeah.
If you need to use other people, use them. That's what people are there for. People care for you.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you have no one to talk to us in the comments.
100%, man.
Talk to us in the comments. We'll respond to you guys.
Hit me up, man. Hit me up. Hit Jordan up as well.
Hit both of us up.
Hey, we're gonna help you guys 100%. If you guys are struggling with anything like rent and shit, like we ain't got money, but no, I'm joking. Cut that bit off. Cut that bit off. We
can't help you financially, but we can help you emotionally.
Cut that bit off.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my days. But so even like let's say even my best friends, I feared telling them because I felt like they're gonna cut me off. They're gonna be like, I don't want to talk to this person. Like that was what was going on through my head. Like if I told you guys, you're gonna be like, Ben is crazy. I never want to talk to him again. So I was like fearing if I talked about it, I would lose my best friends. But when I did open up, my friends were going through shit as well. So I was like, I wish I talked about it because they were going through a similar thing.
Yeah.
And that one of them told me, we're not gonna expose who, but like, he was like, I've been going through that my whole life. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it, like, because on the surface, you can never see. This is the thing about mental health. You can never see what's going on in someone's brain.
And it's usually if you hear about the cases of people who, not just men, anyone in general. If you think about these people who have gone and unfortunately like taken their lives.
Yeah.
If you hear what their families say about them, they always talk about how they always seemed light-hearted, very happy, very bright, and it's usually those people that usually are suffering in silence. Which is why you need to check on everyone. Yeah. Even if you feel like they're happy on the outside, they could be really suffering on the inside.
Because I think to a bunch of people I looked okay. My parents didn't notice nothing, my friends didn't notice nothing until I really talked about it. But I think it was a period in my life which taught me a lot, and the reason why I am so strong today mentally is because of what happened. But let's go on to the next segment. I think so there is a stigma about it because I think as men there's that judgment. I feel like we feel like we're judged if we open up about it.
Yeah, that was kind of like my thing, which is why I didn't really speak out. Like because I felt like if I spoke out about it,
we're gonna be judged for it. Yeah,
I'm either gonna be judged for it.
You're gonna be kicked out. Like I don't want to talk to you anymore. You're gonna be shunned.
Or like, why are you making everything about you? Like that kind of vibe. That was like, that was why I didn't really speak about anything. So there's reasons for that, but
But I wish I talked about it to more people. But at the same time, maybe not. And then we will dive into what it was because
we'll talk.
It would have definitely been mistook, and I'm glad that it didn't go down that way.
So, like one thing I've always thought about is like all these stereotypes to do with around how a man should act, like what it is to be a man, like why you have to be a man. Like what is it to be a man? You have to be a man. All this,
what's the ideal man, and what should we live? What are the expectations that we should meet, and if we don't meet that, what does it mean? You know,
like all these expectations that are set for men, and all these expectations that people want us to reach, and it's like we have this pedestal that's like is ever growing. And we'll never reach to that top bit because there's always going to be more things for us.
Yeah, man.
And more things to do. Like I feel like that's a big part of.
Yeah, it feels like no matter like how high you reach in your life and how successful you are, even if small, it's like everyone has their own kind of like standard for what kind of man you should be, what kind of person you should be.
Exactly.
And that's why I think the reasons why we're such close friends is that we don't have expectations for each other. We love each other no matter what, and in some ways we receive that love outside of our homes. You know, for a lot of us, and I think that was really beautiful. That's how we connected. But yeah, like I think some things you feel like you can't really talk to with family because you've been there for years and you feel like you'll be judged. And I think that's the and there's a bigger expectation or there's a certain vision they have for you. Whereas your friends is like if they're genuine friends, they want the best for you, and that could be whatever vision that like. Let's say Jordan has for his life, I'm going to support that regardless, you know?
100% agree with that. You've got to not keep setting these high expectations or expecting that you're going to meet them.
To have a high all the time, be happy all the time, be strong all the time.
Be happy about all the achievements you've done already and strive for more.
Yeah, man.
Don't be expected to do more. Want to do more.
Even celebrate.
Want to get better. Want to do this. Want to do that. It's all a want. Don't feel like you're expected to, because that's when... If you don't meet that expectation, you're going to start thinking worse because maybe I'm not good enough. Yeah. Maybe I'm not a man. Maybe I'm not going to reach to this expectation.
That's where it really hits you mentally.
That's where it hits.
Am I a man? Because a man isn't supposed to, you know, be going down this route mentally. You know, why am I attacking myself? There's so many layers to it. Yeah, why am I feeling like this? If I'm a man,
why am I feeling these emotions?
If I'm in control. If I'm in control, right?
Why can't I reach this expectation?
Yeah, man.
There's all these things. You have to be happy with what you've achieved and strive to do more, strive to get better, strive to be a better person.
Yeah.
And there you'll be able to meet any expectation that anyone sets for you.
Yeah, man. And to make it to whatever stage you guys are at, you should be proud of yourself.
Don't even follow people's expectations. Follow what you want. Follow what you want to do.
True.
Like, set your own like standards. Be happy with who you are and strive to do more.
I really agree with that. And that message is very powerful because nowadays, I think... And a lot of the mental health is arising, for men specifically, is a certain vision of a level of success they should reach at a certain point.
At a certain age.
And like, there should be a celebrity, or there should be a musician, or there should be a well-known person.
I feel like it's more...
There's a lot of dreams sold to us, I feel like.
There's a lot of dreams sold to us, but I feel like the main dream that is sold to us is us being financially stable. There's always a financial clock on men, I guess, stereotypically, because usually, again, stereotypically, we are the breadwinners, so we're expected to like kind of make that kind of money where there's you know, you're comfortable, you can live in a house.
It's not inherently bad, but it can...
It's not inherently bad because obviously
it can put a lot of pressure on people.
Money makes the world go around, and I believe that obviously I don't think the more money you have, the more happy you get, but it does help because obviously everything in this world costs money.
Yeah.
So,
but let's say, I mean, we can really go down into it, but a man loses his job and he feels like he's lost his whole identity, or he's lost his respect or whatever. And
I've been there, like...
Yeah, you know, like, that's a big thing. Like, that's one example of what could go wrong in anyone's life.
In my stints of unemployment, those are the thoughts that were running through my head. Yeah. And thank God I had such a great support network in, like, my friends, Ben, Max... James, Middleshaw, you man, like, you guys helped me, and then my girl as well, like, they helped me a lot with doing that, and they helped to like take my mind and like help me build my strength up.
Build you up again, and there is this expectation to be stoic, to be like, you know,
stoic the vast.
Yeah, man. Like, if I ask you like, how are you? You have to say you're good. You have to say you're amazing. That's fucking weird in my opinion, but I do understand it because
I get it, because maybe like people just don't want to talk about it. But why is it expected? Like, you know, if you're not feeling okay, if someone asks you, be like, I'm actually not okay right now.
Yeah, man. You'd be like, I've had a tough time,
I've had a tough time, I had a tough week.
Yeah.
Or there's just something that was playing on your mind to make you feel not okay. But I feel like that's to be stoic is to say, yeah, I'm okay when someone asks. Like, it's kind of
proper front.
Yeah, it's a front. Yeah, it's a front.
And when we went through it, we had to do that. We had to act like okay and say. When people used to ask me, "Are you good? How are you, Ben?" Like in my family would ask me, or my friends would ask me, be like, "Yeah, I'm good," but I wasn't.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I couldn't talk about it. You know, I would be punished. I would be shunned. I'd be put in a fucking psych ward. Like that was what going through my head. and luckily I was able to overcome that. And once I started talking about it with my brother and with my friends and my family. Once I'd overcome it, and I was like, I should have done that in the beginning. So I do understand how. But once when you go through something like that, you feel like you can't talk to no one, and that's the toughest part.
It just feels like you're alone, which is,
it does.
I guess, where a lot of like people struggle with, to like reach out and like talk to other people that are near around to them, because they just feel like they're alone. They feel like people won't understand completely because they're not experiencing
what you're going through.
But regardless, like, people have empathy for other people. People care about other people. They want you to get through it, and maybe they won't understand completely, but their intention is to help you overcome it. You know.
The worst part is like when you're suffering in silence, and it feels like, you're like a volcano, and it's just building up. It's just building up and building, and you're like, you're not talking to anyone. You're not letting it out, and that's the worst thing you could do. But like at the same time, we understand it because we've gone through it. We do understand.
Yeah, we've lived the part.
So I think a lot of it stems from suffering alone.
Suffering in silence.
In silence. Yeah. Alone and
you
silence.
have those moments where you build up all of these emotions, and it comes out in one thing might trigger like all these emotions to come out, and it's a really bad way to.
It is definitely
express it, because it's not truly how you want to express it.
It's not who you are.
It's just a build-up of negative emotions that wants to come out, because it's just literally overflowing.
And obviously everyone expresses it in different ways, or like it becomes expressed in different ways, but it is like it kind of becomes this like how would I describe it, like a fire that it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and eventually it starts burning down your house. Like it's like you're cooking some food, right? And that fire is increasing. Eventually it's going to become not good, but in the beginning, that small fire, you can use it for cooking and shit, that emotions are good, but when it becomes too much, start burning up inside. That's the best way I can describe it.
That fire will start off small, and it will seem like nothing, but
and you gotta keep your house clean. You gotta keep your house. You gotta protect your house. You know what I mean?
And if once it destroys.
Don't be metaphor, bro. Sorry, I'm about to jump out of the car.
I'm in shock. What the fuck was that? I'm in awe of what the fuck just happened. This guy's a crackhead, bro. He's too good at that motion, bro. It's crazy, bro.
What the fuck, bro? Relax. That's not making to the video.
Anyway, but
it's like a house. You gotta take care of it, man.
You gotta take care of yourself. You can't let that fire spread, because once that fire spreads, it can
spread to other people. You can hurt other people.
You can hurt other people. It might not be your intention to.
Exactly.
But because it just so much is going on.
Yeah, it's like a curse,
Yes, it will affect other people.
And that's why you're responsible. You are responsible in a way for it. Of course, doing it alone, as we said, is hard. That's why you reach out to people, and it's like if you're like on a, what do you call it, a kayak, what's it, a boat. When you're like rowing, it's like when you're rowing alone against the tide. It feels like that's what depression feels like. It's
tough.
It's like depression feels like sometimes it feels like, or like bad mental health feels like you're in like a boat, and you're rowing against the tide alone. But if you have people,
and you have to put so much energy,
if you have people,
into, and it feels like you're stuck in one place, because obviously the tide's pushing against you, and you're trying to move forward, but you're trying to go through it, but you can't.
You can't
because it's just the tide's too strong. All these emotions are hitting you like that big ass tide, like you can't get past it. But
it's
add one person,
add one more person to that boat.
Add one more set of paddles. You got someone behind you. You're still leading the way, because it's your emotion.
You're still making motion,
But you're making motion because you have that help, you have that assistance, and it might not be like too much movement at first. But as you both get that chemistry going,
eventually the tide will stop. Like the water will clear.
The water will calm down.
Clear,
the storm will clear. The storm will go, and
man.
it will feel like you're going, and then you won't need that person behind you
anymore.
You won't need that person.
You have the strength
you. You have the strength of your own your own self to keep pushing you forward.
It's a beautiful expression, and this is why it's powerful as well. Like to be able to visualize it and create like metaphors, and this is why books and poetry and songs and music is a great way to be able to talk about these emotions and to paint a picture
for me,
and to be able to overcome it as well,
For me, like music can be a really, really good source of like calming. Like it kind of can be like a meditation.
Yeah.
Just because like there's this condition where it's actually real. When you hear like some sort of like music or sound, it gets you like emotional for no reason at all.
Yeah, it's
just the way it
frequencies.
sounds.
It's frequencies.
Yeah, it's like
it's like a radio. You're tuned into different channels.
Yeah. It's a form of meditation.
Yeah.
Like music for me has helped me like calm down a lot. I listen to music religiously. Like I listen to music so much, and it helps. It does help a lot.
It does. Obviously, we'll dive into ways that you can overcome it or we overcame it.
Or like situations that like we've been through and how we managed to overcome it, and if we haven't overcome a situation, like how it's affecting us. Like,
I think the structure was we talked about the stigma of it, how it can build up on a personal level, how not talking about it is an issue, obviously. But obviously for this month, if you guys feel like you're going through something or whatever, hit us up. It is Stay Anonymous, and obviously both of us have a very open, non-judgmental, loving perspective on it, and we have love.
We want to build a community that is a family.
Yeah, and
we want to all be like connected with each other. We want nothing but positivity. If you wish to remain anonymous, we will honor that. Like, that's your wish. We will honor that. Like, we're gonna try and make your wishes come true, bro. Like,
100%. And by the way, near the end of the segment, we had might read in the next one, but we had someone send a response to the first episode.
Yeah, we actually got a response to the first episode.
Yeah.
Maybe we can put it at the end.
At the end of this, so stay tuned and watch it till the end. You're gonna see some.
You're gonna hear.
Our fans or the people that are watching it, their crazy stories and stuff.
Their crazy stories, and we want to hear. We want to hear more. You guys. We want to hear. We want to hear more about what you've been through. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to relate it to something negative, like towards like your mental health or how.
Yeah. You can also ask for advice as well.
You can ask for advice if you want to just vent in the comments. Vent in the comments.
Yeah. 100%.
Do what you want, but we want to interact with you guys.
100%. We want to hear more from you. And give your take as well, like on feedback on like how we doing. Things that we can improve on.
Exactly.
Anything that you see that you don't like the audio, my mic is too low, his mic is too low.
Or
Jordan's a piece of...
Okay. You know what? People might think that, and I'm okay with that,
No,
you know?
Well, I'm a piece of...
Yeah, anyway, if you have any opinions that like you might not agree with, or you just have a different stance on them, just let us know.
100%.
We'd love to hear.
Give your input, and man. All right.
Serious. If you want to get serious, get serious.
I think it's about time to dive into our own experiences and tell our own stories, our own struggles, or our own experiences with mental health or whatever. And you know what? I went through it, right? I'm proud of that shit. I'm happy that I went through it. Because now, if I've gone through it now, if I go through it again, I know how to deal with it. And this is like...
And you know you have people around you.
And I know I have people around me, and I'm a stronger person because of it. Like, I know who I am. And that's what comes out of that. You know, that dark period is like... Because in that dark period, you lose a sense of who you are. It's a sense of identity crisis a lot of the times. And it's like you go into like this resting state. Deep resting state. And... eventually we'll come out of that, and I think it's a very natural thing.
I think it's a state of unrest, because you're deep in unrest. Like you're not, because resting is usually associated with a calming, like
I guess so,
kind of like chill moment. But in unrest, you're constantly thinking about something. You're not resting properly because you constantly have these emotions and these waves of like negativity, like going over you and over you and over you. So it's like a deep. It's like you go into a deep sleep, like a hibernating state. But it's a period in your life. It's like a wave that will pass. That's what I'm saying. It feels like it's gonna end forever. Like it's gonna be forever, but it's not that way. Have you had like a situation in which like you felt like it was just never gonna end?
Yeah, man. When it's like lasting for months, 100%.
Yeah.
For some people, it's like, because I've never experienced things like that. I've always been really happy in my life. I've had great family. I'm very lucky to have all these things. I've had great friendships, a great experience in school. I was blessed, but then I was faced. Bro, you know what? I'm ending this podcast, bro.
No, because this guy just kept laughing.
Last time he yawned when I was telling him, like, I thought.
This guy was violating me the whole time. I yawned once and he's on to me. This guy was laughing, wanting to cry. He grabbed the wheel and I was trying to get Anyway, go on, continue, bro. He's throwing a tantrum now.
Don't go to sleep. Don't. I'm joking. Anyways, where the fuck were we? Oh yeah. Yeah, it can feel like it can last forever, and for me it was like a few months. It was like at least 4 months, but I didn't tell no one. No one knew about it until like way later. I mean, you knew about it, but you didn't know the full state of it, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think I was very vague on that call when I called.
Yeah, it was very vague.
But yeah, diving into it, let's talk about your experience of it, like how you went through it, and obviously we'll go into your story first, and then we'll talk about how I experienced it as well. I think.
What are you trying to know?
What are you trying to find out? Yeah, man. Like, what was your experience? Like, when did you realize you were depressed, bro? Like, when you realized, well, I'm going through shit, like mentally. Was it like a young age? Like,
I was young. I would say when I first started feeling these like wave of negative emotions. Yeah. Like I was probably a teenager. I was probably in secondary school when I started feeling all these things. Like obviously it was a lot of like personal things.
Because you come out that happy like woo, like you're in like when you're a kid, you're like in a trance. You're like I was just living. Yeah.
Like we can get a bit personal. I was constantly.
You have the ability to have the knowledge to process things and to understand what's going on, to understand situations, to process emotions. Even though you're not equipped with the tools to deal with it. You can start feeling emotions after a certain age, and I think for a lot of people, it's the teenage years.
Yeah, and it's you're constantly growing. You're constantly developing these like hormones. You're constantly like. You're thinking about these things. You're going through a lot of changes. So all these wave of negative emotions hit like a truck. They can hit like a truck, and they did hit me like a truck. Like I did put on a bit of a front in secondary school. Like whenever I spoke to people, I still had my off days, but I would try to get over them because obviously I didn't want to bring anyone else. Like I didn't want to bring anyone else's mood down. So I'd constantly try play football, try be like active, try like. Be funny with everyone, but like internally I was going through a lot of shit, and only like a select few people knew like a base level of it, and like,
not the full depth.
Not the full depth. I never.
It would be too much. You felt like it was too much for anyone to hear. It was too much for yourself. That's the part.
Like, it was too much for me to handle. Yeah. So imagine if I just dumped everything on an unsuspecting person who just like they're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on right now? Yeah, man. They're not gonna know how to respond, and I don't really want to put someone in that position as well.
Yeah, well, let me leave the car right now.
Okay. And you complain about me yawning. I'm giving my trauma, man.
I might link my ting from parking 7 a.m. in the morning.
You ain't got no ting from anyway.
All right.
But yeah, no.
Bingo, but I miss me.
Okay, though. Yeah, I was very young when those emotions started like hitting, and it was a lot of
I think you didn't open up about what you were going through like mentally, but I think you opened up about a family situation to me, with your mum.
Yeah. Which
was I think another thing, by the way, is as teenagers we went through a lot of family issues.
Yeah,
but it was a thing that we couldn't talk about with our friends at that time.
Yeah, no, because it is a very personal.
It's very personal. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but there was just it wasn't just my mum. Obviously, there was things that was happening with like within my household, with like my brother and my dad and all of that, and obviously I don't know if you could.
Everyone goes through it, but like in different ways, in different extents. The
way I dealt with, or the way I tried to deal with it is I was never home. Or if I was home, I'd always try to have someone over. Yeah. And like I don't know if you could tell, like every time.
It's just valid.
Yeah, I was always out. I was always trying to go out. I was always trying to play football. I was always trying to go to the business part in North Finchley or something, where like Hollywood Bowl is.
Oh yeah,
and
to the arcades and stuff.
Arcade, but I was always around.
Seeking like an escape.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of like an escape.
But it was healthy, and I do want to say, healthy escapes are like
in moderation. Don't feel like you have to escape, because that's what I did. I felt like if I just escaped it, like it would go, but I have to go back home. You know, so it's like you're still gonna like deal with it. Obviously, it's nice to have a healthy escape, but don't always try to run away from this, because it's not gonna go away unless you try and
That's
deal
what's
with them.
called the healthy escape, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Healthy escape. I didn't say escape, bro. Why are you taking it there, bro?
Okay.
No, listen, he's talking about unhealthy, just to make it clear. Nah, I'm joking.
Alright, cool.
This podcast is just me roasting Jordan, bro. What is going on? Yeah, once it gets to my part, he's gonna start roasting the fuck out of me. I'm not ready for that, bro.
He's getting cooked. Like that fire in his kitchen. He's getting cooked.
Recently, I almost burned down my kitchen, by the way. Like, okay, let me tell the story, right?
Oh no.
I was cooking onions for my burger. You know, when you get caramelized for the burger. Yeah, and I left the kitchen to go. My friend called me. Are you yawning?
Yeah,
Every
bro.
time I talk to you, fuck you, bro. Fuck this guy, bro. I don't want to do this shit no more, bro. Fucking delete the channel, man. You ruined my story, man.
I do have fun.
I do have fun. What the fuck does that mean? I do have fun.
I do have fun, bro.
What do you mean you do have fun?
I'm having fun right now.
I didn't ask if you're having fun. What the fuck?
Okay, you didn't have to ask. I'm making a statement.
Yo, I'm gonna put that camera up your ass, bro.
Listen, yeah, you're gonna put your burnt caramelized onions, bro, up your own ass, man. With your fire, bruv. Anyway, go on, yeah. So you're making onions for your burger. You're making onions.
Yo, are you saying because I'm Middle Eastern I should be handling fire?
That
you
is
trying to say,
crazy.
bro? Okay, the racism in this fucking car, bro. Anyways.
Nah, man. So yeah. You almost burnt down your kitchen.
Yeah, almost burnt down my kitchen because, I left because my friend called me on a FaceTime, and you know I would close the door of my kitchen because it was like really late night and I didn't want to wake up my brother. So then I got caught up in the FaceTime, and then all I saw was like, I would remember all of a sudden, right? I've left the onions on the stove on a high heat, like
full power,
like 4 out of 6. 4 out of 6. That's quite high, right?
That's a high flame.
I opened the door, smoke.
He hobbled the kitchen with onions, bro.
It was burning, and I was so lucky because the alarm hadn't gone off. Because if it had gone off, it would have woken my brother, and I would have got my ass beat, and I would have got told off for burning the onions. No one really found out about that, by the way. I fucking covered that shit up, like, it was crazy.
They know now.
But yeah, I switched it off, moved the pan. By the way, the onions had burnt into the pan. There was like an onion mark. Like when I washed it,
There's a little onion ring on the pan.
when I washed the pan, right, then there was a mark left of that burned part, right?
Put an L chef for Ben.
And the kitchen smelled like onions for like burnt onions for like 2 days.
Nah, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. And luckily I was able to get the smoke out and save the kitchen. But so yeah, I almost set my whole apartment on fire, bro.
Damn.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Anyways,
that was a bit about like me when I started feeling like those emotions. What about you? When did you felt like you started feeling these like negative waves of emotions?
Yeah, I mean, I had really good people around me, so I never felt like I didn't have a lot of negativity in my life, luckily. Even though, I always had like a lot of positivity around me, which I know for a lot of people is rare. But, and for me, there was no such thing as mental health. Like, I never processed it. Because I was always happy. I was always going out with my friends, having a good time. I was going after my goals in school, so I was doing a lot in that regard, right?
Yeah.
So I was quite lucky. But yeah, as I got older though, as I was becoming a teenager, I was developing. I was going through a lot in terms of like my hormones or whatever. And I was finding who I am as Ben. Who is Ben, right? I'm figuring that shit out because that's a part of your teenage years is
figuring out who you are,
and facing the realities of the world, because you start understanding things like war and death and certain emotions that you couldn't process before. You start truly understanding what it means. But yeah, luckily I had a lot of great people in my life, and then a great childhood, a great upbringing, great school experience and everything. So I didn't face it until later on when I was like 17. So I went through it when I was 17, bro, which I think for a lot of people they're still teenage years, so it's very common at that age. And for me it was the toxic kind of pressure to study and to get good grades.
Right. That's when you started.
Yeah, and obviously it wasn't like my parents.
Well, I mean,
it wasn't from my parents, but it was from myself actually.
Really, it's like that own pressure.
It was and I started to really I locked myself in my room for 3 months, and I studied non-stop. I memorized my whole biology textbook. Like, people in my school can vouch for it. You could flick to page 62, whatever. I'll tell you word for word each paragraph.
That's crazy.
I could recite it.
That's like crazy revision.
Yeah, that was crazy commitment, but it was too much. It was too unhealthy. I stayed in my home. Like, people would hit me up, be like, let's go out. And that's when you start to realize a balance is so important. And I think a lot of like mental health, or a lot of issues arise from a lack of balance in your life.
Yeah.
And you realize work isn't actually important. Health
is important.
should be number one, bro. And mental health is a part of that.
Health in general. Health includes everything. Emotional health, physical health, just mental health, all of it.
Yeah. So it came from me just not going out with my friends, not working out, just studying in my room non-stop. And this is the thing, I think a lot of Middle Eastern families, and even from other cultures as well, experience, like, young kids experience pressure to succeed in terms of grades. Like, that pressure to succeed in terms of grades and in school and in university is a big cause of death. And even in medical, I'm sure you guys heard it, in like medical school, a lot of people, like a lot of doctors end up ending their lives because of all this pressure.
And they work hard.
They live a life which they're not happy with, but they lived it because it was kind of sold to them. They were kind of told to become that. Yeah. And it was never their own dream. They were never really happy with it.
Yeah, I feel like that is the case for a lot of people. Although there's some people that just obviously want to be very helpful, and they obviously want to take those years of, because being a doctor is years.
It's hard work, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. And you might get to that stage and you're like, I don't really want to do this anymore. And that might be a big shift for a lot of people, because
again, it's time.
We're changing as people,
and it's time. You get to the stage where you become a doctor now, and you're like, was this really what I wanted to do? And it's a lot of that.
For some people, it might be like 40. They would wake up one day, they're like, wait, where the fuck am I? What am I doing? So this is why it's a crazy thing to talk about.
It's like, I honestly think it's that midlife crisis. It's a crisis. It's like, there's that saying where it's like you're going through a midlife crisis, but obviously it's kind of used in like a nonchalantly, but it's a real thing. I mean, the statistics really showed it between the ages of 40 and 60.
You shout to the Polish comedian that, bro, you've lost in that Polish.
Jak się masz?
Jak się masz? Dobrze, chodź tu. Lubię cię. Anyways.
Alright, cool. So like the people aged between 40 and 60, they kind of like, I feel like they might.
It's not unique to teenagers. That's the point you're trying to make.
Yeah, it's not unique, and maybe they think about like what they've done with their life, and maybe they don't feel like they fulfilled their life properly, and because they're getting to that age now, where they're getting old, and like, they might start thinking about it. Obviously, I'm not saying that's for everyone, but I'm just trying to give an example as to why people might feel like that in a certain way. You know?
Yeah, and going back to the situation I went through is because I was studying at home so much, I got homesick. And what started happening is I started getting a wave of negative, intrusive thoughts. And all my kind of like phobias were manifesting.
Damn.
Because I wasn't taking care of my health, and I wasn't giving space for my mind to rest truly, because I was working all the time. And it became too much at some point where I got an intrusive thought which I couldn't deal with. I couldn't and I didn't want to do it. Like, I didn't want to do it.
It was hard to overcome.
It was hard to overcome and I never ever faced that intrusive. I never faced that thought in my life, and I was like, if I love myself, if I've been happy all along, why am I having this thought of like, ending my life in a certain way, right? But the thing was, for me, and I know some people when they're going through that, there's a part of them that wants to do it because they want to end the misery. For me, it was more like I didn't want to do it. So it was a different form of mental health where I was getting intrusive thoughts that I couldn't deal with, and I felt like I was a crazy person. I felt like I was going crazy.
You're not, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I've
overcome
it now. A long time ago, I overcome it when I overcame it after 6 months it took me to really, really bounce back. But I'm not gonna lie, the bounce back was crazy. Like, how I transformed myself, it really, like, when you hit rock bottom and you start building yourself up back again, you transform into this whole beautiful person that you never once were before. And I think this is why it's even though in those darkest moments or in those periods where you're going through shit, it's actually an opportunity for you to find who you are. Because I found out who I was, you know?
That's good.
Because when I was going through those thoughts, I was like, wait, if I'm having these negative thoughts, who is Ben? Because the Ben I know wouldn't have these thoughts.
Yeah.
And I've been happy all along, so... But yeah, and when I was going through that, I was like, who the fuck do I tell? I can't really tell no one. Because if I did tell someone, they're going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to lie, you need to see a doctor, or like, I can't deal with this. Like, they're not going to know what an intrusive thought is. I had to search it up. But yeah, now I found out that they're actually very natural, but our responses to those intrusive thoughts, determine if we do have a reaction to it. And if you do have a reaction to it, if you have a phobia of a certain thought or a certain thing, it can turn into a mental health issue. So that's what happened to me. But there was a time, at that time, let me tell you this, I didn't tell this to no one, but at that time actually there was a program, an online program called, I think it was like called Coots. You know, do you remember? It was like some, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but there was this program for young people, and there was posters put in around the school of like...
at BD?
Couth. Is it Couth?
Was this at BD or where?
BD, like, it's a program that's out for young people. I've seen posters of it, but like, it was like, oh, if you're going through mental health, you can contact us and talk to us anonymously.
Yeah.
But I knew if I had told them of my intrusive, like what my intrusive thought was, they would have contacted my family. They would have, they would have contacted the doctor, and it would have gotten really out of hand because I did not want to do it. I didn't want to end my life. Do you know? I didn't want to end my, and that was the struggle. Is like, a thought was telling me to do it, but I didn't want to do it. So that was where the battle began, and it was leading to a bunch of other like negative thoughts about different people, and all these weird compulsions was being created in my head. But what really helped me out of it was, first of all, the school year ended. So then I had the break. Then I realized, well, first of all, I've been studying for so hard. Now I lost my health, and I was like, it's not even worth it.
Was it worth it? Yeah.
Was it really worth it? Was the grind really worth it? Because at the end of it, guess what? I didn't even get like the highest grade. I got like a B, which was a big improvement from my grades at the beginning of the year. But I was like, yo, it's not even worth it because my health is gone, bro. I don't even know who I am. I'm losing my mind. I was literally I was taking buses to certain places, and I'd never gone there before. I was just taking a bus. I was like, I need to get out of my room and go to a park or something. Yeah, and I felt very crazy on the bus. You know, going through all this shit in my head. And you know what was crazy is like, when you're going through all this shit, you feel like you're the only person on the planet. Everyone else just fades.
You feel so like isolated.
Everyone else just fades. Like they're ghosts now. And you feel like you can't talk to no one. But yeah, when I hit you up, I felt very scared to even tell Jordan, and I knew Jordan had vented to me before, so I was like, yeah, I feel comfortable because you're not gonna expose me, you're not gonna tell people what I'm.
Yeah, never.
You're gonna keep it between us. You're gonna keep 100%. It. But I told you, but I was very vague about it, and I think the advice you gave me was like, bro, just keep going, you're gonna be fine. And that was really good advice, by the way. I think that's the best thing. You just heard me out and said, bro, listen, I believe that you can go through this and you can overcome it.
Yeah, it's just listening. Listening is it's kind of like effortless, but it does so much for someone. 100%. If you just sit down and just listen.
It was a 2-minute call, it was like 4-minute call, but it meant the world.
Yeah, that might be all you need. Yeah. It's 2-3 minutes, or even less than that, 30 seconds to a minute.
Or someone being there for you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's massive. So, yeah, I was able to overcome it, and for me it was gym. So I started going to the gym. I started reading books. I started meditating.
Yeah.
And I
remember this.
Yeah, I started going through like a spiritual transformation. Because when you hit rock bottom, you think none of the answers that were there not working. You know, all the things that gave me pleasure, all the things that gave me happiness, no longer work. And that's the tough part. Like I was around you guys, but I wasn't happy. I was around my family that always made me happy, but I wasn't happy. And I was like, there was certain things weren't working. So, yeah, I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to start going to the gym. I think I'd researched how to overcome things. And there was a book that actually really helped me. A book called 5 a.m. Club. And it was a book about waking up early and taking care of yourself and going after your goals. Right. And that's when I started my self-improvement journey and like start finding who I am, because I really lost my identity. And that was the toughest part. But yeah, I was able to overcome it through gym, meditation, and reading books, and spending a lot of time in nature. Nature heals you, by the way. If you guys are going through stuff, whatever you're going through, I think a lot of a lot of us don't spend time in nature, and that's very powerful.
It's true.
Time away from work and from all this grind and all this busyness, which doesn't even matter at the end of the day, man. For real, man. Like, let me break that fucking camera. Fuck this podcast, bro. No, I'm joking.
Damn.
I'm joking, bro.
Yeah, damn.
Nah, man. I love you guys. Mwah. Alright, go on.
Yeah. I don't know.
You were gonna say something, yeah, man.
No, 100% agree with that. Like, I remember when you started like really like grinding and like you finally got out of that like hole you were in. You just, I just saw you plugging and unplugging. It was really good to see.
Yeah, man. I did it alone, by the way. I didn't. Well, you knew about it, but
I didn't know the full extent of it. And then once you got better, you told me, and then obviously
I did it alone, and
I was like, the next time things like this happen, just let me know, because I'm always there. And like now, like he just calls me randomly. We just it's just random. We have random calls, random talks. Man. It's nice.
Yeah,
nice
but obviously that was a phase in my life which I think had to happen, and I'm way stronger now. Like the way I deal with things now is like not that I'm God or something, but I still go through a lot of shit. But I come out of it always stronger. I always learn, and there's lessons to be learned. In everything. But yeah,
I feel like I'm like slowly reaching that stage where, I'm gonna lead. Like, I was gonna lead to this point where, don't feel like your time or like your clock, your life clock has to be on match with someone else's.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own life clock. Like you can start doing things later for yourself.
It's true.
And some people might have just done it earlier, but that doesn't mean you had to have done it at that age. Like
getting a degree or I don't know, getting
all of that, like
getting a certain house by a certain age, or certain car, or living a certain lifestyle. Like that's unrealistic.
Live kind of like in the moment.
Yeah.
Like example, we're gonna segue into like a bit about me. Like for example, I'm in the process now of like figuring out what I want to do, like who I am, learning to like deal with my emotions better. Like I'm in that stage, and I'm currently like working through it. Like obviously Ben done that earlier than I did, but again, we just went through different things.
That self-healing is very powerful.
Yeah, I'm going through that. There's a lot of like there's a lot more like I'm realizing now there's a lot more positives going on in my life right now than the negatives.
Yeah.
Which is like
beautiful.
It's kind of weird because it's kind of like new. Because it's usually
you feel ready to face it.
Yeah, usually it was the other way around.
It's like a book that you left on the shelf. But now you're like, you know what? Maybe it's time to pick up that book.
Pick up that book and read it. Like it's like because for me it was kind of like the opposite. I always felt all these negative things were happening around me, either with my family, like losing like people that were close to me, and all of these things. Like it was always like, if there was one positive, I felt like this is honestly how I felt. If something good happened to me, I'm like, okay, that means something bad is gonna happen, or several bad things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
So this positive, like good moment will not last. Like it will go straight to back being
negative.
It's
very sad, man.
Yeah, but now I'm more like in a position where I'm more thinking about all these good things that are happening more than the negative. Life, so like, obviously this podcast is one of them. Since we started it, I've just had like a really good motivation.
It's good.
I just got a promotion at work.
Hey,
you know, like,
come on. W promotion.
I've joined the football team after like years of trying to look for one, and they've recently just made me like community manager of the football team as well. It's good. It's good things. Like, what else is going on? Like, I'm meeting new people. I've always wanted to like have like Latin friends around me, and I finally have like a group of people
building
my football team
building your community,
that are Latin that reached out to me, and then yesterday,
amigos.
Yesterday I went out with some really good friends of my girls from her uni, and had a great time. Like,
you feel like your life is improving.
It's improving.
Yeah.
Like,
now you have the foundation and like the tools to be like, I can face this. You know, you're braver now.
I still have my dark days and my dark moments, but it's more like,
that's natural, man. Yeah.
If I have a dark moment now, I'm like, if I'm not with my girl and I'm feeling these bad emotions, I message her straight away. I'm like, I don't know why I'm feeling like this, but this wave of emotion just came around me, and then she starts talking to me. Like, I talk about it more once I first experience these emotions, which is good.
You face it. You face it there and then, and you nip it in the bud, kind of thing.
Yeah, I tried to like
resolve
with it because, definitely. So
just that's why it's good to it is good to face it just when it arises, when a problem arises.
Because again, I just done it alone. I always done it alone.
Yeah.
So
but doing it alone is tough. Alone,
it can be hard. It's
a tough journey, bro. Thing. It's so hard.
It's a very tough thing, but
it's so hard.
You know, I have a great support network around me now, and I have great people around me.
Hey man, yeah. Obviously, I'm proud of you, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm proud of you too as well, bro.
Of course.
We're both doing our thing. We're both trying to
going after our dreams, and
definitely.
Yeah, it's just I feel like you got to be patient with whatever you're going through as well. There's so much going on. Even right now, as we're recording this podcast, there's a war going on in Iran. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. Iran, Israel.
Yeah.
There's back and forth, and it's just began. And it's going crazy. My parents live there, so they were planning to fly here, but now they can't. So we're gonna see what happens. You hear in the next episode. Give you guys a little update about that. But there is so much going on. But right now in my life, I'm in a good position, bro. Like it's the way I deal with things. I don't know. Maybe because I've just started moving towards God, and that for me, that faith is last Sunday. I didn't tell you this. I might. You guys get to hear it firsthand. But last Sunday, I welcomed Christ into my heart officially. So
nice.
I didn't tell you this, but
so like, did you start officially going to church, or like how did you?
Yeah, so I went to church first time 2 weeks ago.
Cool.
And then a week later, I went on a walk. And then in the walk, I got this clarity again. You know, like when you're young, you can like...
Yeah.
You got this like, your mind is so free.
Yeah, free, yeah.
And after that walk, I felt so free. And I realized a lot of my problems can be solved by God. God is the answer, man. Because I tried to do it alone for so long, right? Without God, without anything. Because I feel like the West relies on the ego, relies on the self. It's like... But eventually you get to a point where there are some issues where the world can't solve it for you. The money can't solve it for you, bro. That's why billionaires are depressed and, you know, they come out and talk about it. But for me, at the moment, I'm not depressed. I'm not going through a dark time. There's shit going on for sure.
Yeah.
But God is bringing me a lot of happiness and joy in my heart. And
that's good.
I feel much stronger as a person, you know, having God by my side. It's like a shield.
Yeah, it's like what we were talking about earlier. Religion plays a really important part in people's lives.
I didn't have that then, by the way. Just to talk about it. Do you feel like you could... Was your faith strong as a kid or nah? You feel like... you could have...
I am... Yeah. I would call myself Catholic. I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus. I pray sometimes, but it's more like very occasional. It's not... I mean, I did... When I was young, we did used to go to church every Sunday. I've had my baptism, I've had my communion. When me and my girl get married, she does want to get married through the church. Traditional way. So I will go and get my confirmation done. And then from there, we'll go through the year process of like...
Have you been baptized?
Doing the lessons. Yeah, of course. I was baptized when I was a baby. Then I had my Holy Communion when I was 8. I didn't have my confirmation. My girls had a confirmation, but you usually have that when you're like 16 or something like that.
Also, I want to talk about this as well. Sorry to cut you off. There is a stigma in the UK of like, there's a hatred towards God. There's a hatred towards religion in the West. But obviously we won't go there because we do understand. A lot of people don't want to hear about God. I do understand that. But
I get that. People have their opinions, but honestly, I don't...
God changed my life, sorry. I'm gonna big up...
I don't feel like anyone should have any hatred towards any religion because everyone... It just helps them, like... No matter what you believe,
it helps you be less judgmental on yourself and on people, and it clears your heart. It clears your heart. For me, that's what it's done. Like
it's just it's the faith.
Purified my soul, man.
It's that faith part in any religion that you wanna you feel like you're devoted to like a higher being, and
I wish I had someone. I wish I met God when I was going through it, bro.
But even when like there's obviously those things like called like agnosticism and all that, where like they might specifically not follow religion, but they believe in a higher power. Like these different things, it just helps people get by. And obviously for your case, obviously it was finding God and finding Jesus. And for me, sometimes like if like I have a bad day or something really bad happens to me, my girl will just like we'll say a prayer or like
that's beautiful. Man.
I will say like obviously
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll start like I'll pray to like my grandma and start talking like to her and all of that. Like these things they do help me as well sometimes. And I
used to talk to my... Okay, wait, I don't want to expose that.
I mean, there obviously there's...
I used to talk to a loved one that had passed away, and I would like confide in them because their presence in my life was very like beautiful, right?
Yeah.
100%. And a lot of people do that, but they don't talk about it because they're like, oh, you sound like a crazy person. What do you mean you're talking to someone who's passed away? But if you do think like that, you need to go check yourself, man. Go check it. But I do get it. It's
I feel like
powerful,
people
man.
who aren't religious, they still like, if they've lost a loved one, they still talk to them. It might not be in the form of a prayer, but people still, they like to talk to the people who have passed, or like, people constantly visit other people's graves and talk to them and conversate with them.
Yeah.
Like, in a way, we say it in the form of a prayer, and that for me is like,
that's
like
powerful,
really
man.
It is a powerful thing.
That's beautiful.
It feels like they're listening, and like.
And when you pray with someone else, it's like that's why going to church really, because I did try to read the Bible and go towards God alone. I couldn't do it. It was tough. It's tough, and then going to church and doing it with others made it so much easier. And that's why I feel like this is why it's an issue. Mental health is like you're facing it alone, but you feel like that's the only option. Like you can only face it alone. And when you try to, the people in your life might not be ready. But this is the thing about like things like religion it's always there for you. It's always gonna give an answer to your issues, So it's beautiful. And you said that in the future you wanna like.
I think we do want to try and possibly get married like by the church. So we'll be going through all that whole process. I'll have to get my confirmation done and all of that, which is fine. And obviously, if we want to do that, man. Well, we probably will both want. So we'll see what the future holds,
That's amazing.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, going through the topics, I think we talked about. I was asking you if that was an option for you because you were religious to a certain extent, but I don't think did you go to that when you were going through stuff? Did you go to God or not?
Like if
at that age, I feel like you didn't have a connection, right? At that age, you didn't have a strong connection with God.
No, because it was always. I'm not too sure. It wasn't something I really like poured everything into. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. It was more time like I probably just like, if I'm being honest, I just had so much going through my head. My main thing was to just deal with the issues that I had, and it could have possibly helped, but I think I mean,
maybe you were too young.
It might have been too young, but
sometimes you're too young to process emotions, or we're too young to process God, or really see things for what it is. But what was your way of overcoming your like dark moments and your depression and stuff like that?
I don't know. Like if I'm being honest, like I still have a lot of things in the past that I haven't dealt with and I haven't like processed yet. But no, I wouldn't say processed yet because it's already happened. I would say dealt with. Because I'm learning to process them in a different like way now, a bit more trying to have like more positive like thinking in terms of what happened when I was like young.
Changing your perspective on it.
Changing my perspective, because that's how I'm sort of processing it. But I haven't dealt with them yet, so I'm still learning to deal with like these issues. But in terms of things that I've probably already dealt with, it's like usually it's more recent things, so it's probably like just talking to someone. Talking to someone helps a lot.
Same back then. Football, right?
Yeah, football. Football's always been big, and now that I'm like playing like football now with like my football team, San Furbeto, there's gonna be some footage coming to social soon, so just keep an eye out soon. Shout out to them, man, because they've made me feel like I'm part of a family. You're like a brother,
yeah.
They made me feel like I'm part of a family.
It's crazy. You found your team, and I found church, bro.
Yeah, but like obviously I do still like believe in. I don't feel like have my faith in God and all of that, Like this football team, like honestly, shout out to them, like big props. They were so excited to hear about my podcast. Like we went out after a football game or something, and like one of my teammates was trying to get me to talk about the podcast and what's going on. Like they're very like active. They like believe and all of that, and believe like in me and believe in the potential of this podcast.
Wow.
Like they're such good people, such down-to-earth people.
They back you, man.
They back you, and
it's crazy sometimes how you find more love and more strength in strangers.
It's weird.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Because I didn't like they found me, which is the crazy thing. Like I didn't go. Obviously, I was looking for a football team.
Yeah.
The way they found me is I went on this website, put my name, number, the position I play, and what I'm looking for. And I'm looking for 11 aside. then they got my number off that website and just messaged me saying, "Oh, do you want to play a game for us? Because we need a player." I was like, "Cool." Then I went to that game. We had we played and all of that, and they were like, "Do you want to like continue playing?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, definitely. I'd like to like keep playing because I wanted to play regularly." And from there, they just put me on the team, and now since then, this has been a regular thing, and I'm really grateful for it. It's been really fun.
Yeah. So you said it was football, and now you're slowly becoming more. You have more tools in your toolbox to deal with.
I have more more things to help me come over all these like negative emotions.
Come over it.
Like, oh no.
Not bad.
No, that's cool. These things do help a lot, and I'm guessing like for you it was like finding obviously now finding God.
Now it's God. Now it's God and the healthy habits that I built, the community, my goals.
Would you say like your streaming and all of that?
Yeah, pursuing my dreams has definitely made me way more happier. Like and having like people in my life that really support my vision and they really believe in me. Like my parents really trust in me, really believe in me. And that's very beautiful. Like when people are behind you, and then now all I gotta do is reach that point. And it's a beautiful journey, and I'm enjoying every single step, even the lows as well. One thing I've learned as I've gotten older is enjoying the lows as well, because
it's a really good.
Yeah, some people enjoy the lows too much, and I want to talk about that as well. It's like that negative emotion can be very, very addictive. Any emotional state can be very addictive.
Because it might feel like, I know for some
it's like a
people,
comfort.
It feels like the norm to feel that negative emotion. So like when you're feeling something positive, it feels weird.
Exactly.
It's like
you become used to it.
I went through that. Like whenever something positive happened, I was like, something negative is gonna happen. Like, why is this positive happening?
Yeah.
You know, it feels like that comfort thing to feel that negative because it's just what's normal to you at the time. But you know, you get over it. You 100% will get over it.
Yeah, man, and it's like those lows. It's like I've realized that it's a natural part of life. You know, as people, we go up and down. Our emotions are never up. Like we have two sides, right? We have, you have the high and you have the low, and they're in companion. You know, you can't have the highs without the lows and the lows without the highs. So I've started to appreciate both.
Exactly.
Parts in my life. So when I'm going through a dark period, I look at it like I'm gonna come out of this stronger. I'm gonna learn something from this. I'm gonna grow from this. Even though it's tough. Even though it's tough now. And it's even realer now because I see certain things for what they are.
Yeah.
But yes, I've also started to understand a bunch of shit I went through. What we went through as well. I think maybe you went through it to a certain extent. As teenagers, a lot of the depression that you see, a lot of the, the mental health issues that you see, is what I find is something called death anxiety. Is you coming into terms that this is the reality I gotta live. I gotta become an adult. I gotta start getting a job. I gotta start succeeding. I gotta start becoming and losing my child self. I can no longer.
You have to like grow out.
Yeah, you have to grow up, and we're not ready for growing up, and that's when a lot of things start to go wrong mentally.
You always hear these quotes saying like, when you're a child, you wish you're an adult, but once you become an adult, you wish you were back to a child.
Yeah,
and it's so true. But and
you start to comprehend things like death as well. You realize you're gonna die one day. That thing can be very scary for some.
Yeah, like my biggest fear is death. Death for me is my biggest fear. Whenever I think about it, I get like panic attacks and shit for it.
It's real, bro.
But,
it's real.
Like, realistically, I probably will have it as a fear still, but it's more like it's gonna happen eventually. Just right now, I just try and focus on
not to
what
think
I'm
about
doing
it.
now.
And you shouldn't.
Because you shouldn't. Because
yeah.
Try put it at the back of your mind, thinking like obviously it will happen one day, but it's not gonna happen for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like
we got lots
realistically, you're gonna live until you're in your 80s, and if you think about it, only 20 for us, only 23.
We're young as fuck, man.
We're young as hell, and it's like what I was saying the previous episode. We feel like now that we're maturing and we're getting to we
just started life.
Our frontal lobe is developing. You think more clearly. You think, okay, this is real life now. This is real life. This is what life is. You gotta do what you want to do. be stuck at something that makes you miserable every day. Be
Yeah.
happy, and it could be doing anything. If it means something to you, the people that care about you around you will
They're
see
gonna
that.
support it.
They're gonna support you.
And I just want to say that whatever you're going through, there's always someone who has a certain level of love for you. And if you don't have no one, then
You have us.
Yeah, or you have God.
Or you have God, or whoever you feel like is someone that you can talk to, or something you can vent to. You can even vent to your pet.
Yeah.
If you have a pet or someone, like, you just get all of it out. Talk to them, like, I don't know. It's just people might find comfort in that.
For real, bro.
People find comfort in different things, and like.
Yeah. What? So let's sum up what helped you. So how did you, obviously, as you grew up, as you got older, what was your experience like? Obviously, you said that you deal with it better now because you have all these amazing things in your life, and there is more positive things than negative things in your life, and you have more of a stronger base.
Yeah.
But what's one thing that helps you a lot?
To like deal with it and like overcome it. My thing is,
was it a certain like mindset? Was it a certain person?
I got to a point where I was just like, these things that happened in the past, they might still affect me, and I'm still gonna have to deal with them, but they happened already. I can't really change the outcome of it. I can only learn to deal with it, and once I deal with it, finally I'll be able to like grow from it and learn from it. But you know, it's already happened. I can't change anything about it. So I can't, I don't want to, like, there's going to be times where I dwell on it, but I don't want to. I don't want to dwell on it, because what am I going to do about it? Realistically, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Unless we have a time machine somewhere, I can't do anything. I can't change the outcome.
Yeah.
And I don't think, I don't want to live a life where I'm constantly thinking I wanted to change a certain outcome of the situation. I want to live a life where I'm like, it happened, but if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be making, like, that's what I'm trying to think. Like, I wouldn't be making podcasts with you.
Yeah.
Like if I were to change the outcome of what secondary school I went to, I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met Max. I wouldn't have made these amazing memories.
That all the bad things, like, even though they happened, they had a meaning and purpose.
There was a reason for it happening. It's like, it was a bad thing that happened when I was like didn't get into the schools I wanted, but in the end of the day, it was a blessing, and a really big blessing, and I would never change the outcome of that.
Change it for a bit,
I would never change it for anything, because
I wouldn't change it for a bit either. And
100%.
That's crazy that we feel the same way about that, but I wouldn't change me going through what I went through.
No.
It taught me a lot.
It teaches you a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
And it helps you learn, like, how to overcome different things. It helps you learn your own brain better, and helps you learn about your own mental health and how you react
how
to
you
certain
cope with
situations,
things.
Yeah. And you're gonna end this. You're gonna keep learning. You're gonna keep your brain will keep learning. We don't use the full potential of our brain.
For real, and I do understand. I do see that. Yeah, I'm growing, and I can decipher things better than I used to before. But yeah, I want you guys to take this moment to be like, you know, give yourself a pat on the back, bro.
Give yourself a pat on the back.
Life ain't easy.
I'm gonna give you a round of applause.
Hey man, big up! Shout out to all of you guys. All of you guys. I'm proud of you. No matter who you are, what stage you're at, I have lots of love for you, and you should be proud of yourself for being here. You know, being in this moment.
Being present.
To be in this present moment is a blessing. You know.
It is a blessing. It's a really big blessing.
To be alive and to be able to watch this. If you're watching this, and you're in the West.
The fact that we have, like, the fact that we have technology at our disposal, that we're able to tune into the people that we want to watch, that brings us happiness. Like, hopefully we're able to
we'll bring you guys happiness.
Yeah, we want to be one of those outlets.
Inspire you guys.
We want to inspire you. We want you guys to take something from this video and, like, apply it to your own life to help you overcome any obstacle you guys have. And, you know, we're always gonna be an outlet for you guys to talk to. If we build a community, hopefully you find someone in this community that will help you as well. Like, you know, like, there's gonna be a safe space, and we're all gonna, like, grow from this. We're all gonna get better. One
thing I didn't talk about is this thing of, like, wanting to achieve things, or wanting to carry all this weight on your shoulder as a man, because you do have that faith in yourself, and that ego thing of, oh, I can do it alone, or I can carry all this weight, no matter what pressure is going on in your life. You're like, I can do this, but sometimes you know that it it does become too much for you, and you got to be honest with yourself and be like,
you can't carry this weight.
I can't carry this weight alone. And that's why for me now it's become like, if I can't carry this weight, I'll leave it to God and I let my heart rest. That's what's helping me a lot. I won't lie. And
it's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Yo, if you want to come to the Bible, by the way, Book of Psalms, man, start there. And if you're going through a lot of suffering, that book speaks to your soul. That book really spoke to me, man. And you know what's weird? I'm coming to Christ when I don't need him. It's weird. But I do need him. And he's been there, you know?
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful thing. But yeah, I obviously have lots of love for people, and I know that everyone's on a different journey towards God. And I have so much, I understand it so much because I was away from God for the longest. So, hey, man.
All right. On that note, I think it's been a great segment to talk about not just men's mental health, but
we brushed over it. We brushed over it, but I think it was still very important to talk about it. And shout out to all the guys out there and the women too. We have lots
everyone.
We
have lots of love for all of you guys.
We appreciate you, and we have love for you. And big ups to yourself, man.
Big yourself up. You deserve to be bigged up. Anyway, I was thinking, what's one bit of advice you'd want to like give someone that maybe that's just like struggling with a certain situation, go through a tough time? What's one bit of advice you'd like to give someone?
The thing is, realizing that you're not alone is very tough. You know, when people say, you're not alone in this.
It can seem empty, no?
It's so surface level that I think that advice doesn't really help. What I would say is that it's a phase. You know, just realize it's a phase, man. It's not forever. Like, even though it feels like it's forever, it won't last forever. Because the time that you were worried about or you were sad about losing your phone, or let's say you as a kid you lost like a toy or whatever, you're sad about it for a while, but then eventually you forget. And as adults, we hold on to things to a stronger degree, but it is just a phase, and this is like a journey, and it has ups and downs, and we got to be patient, you know, and enjoy the highs and learn. And this is a tough part for adults. Enjoy the lows as well, because it's still valid. It's still beautiful.
It'll make you who you are. Yeah.
And what I would say is, if you are going through something, you got to realize that there is another version of you, that there is another day, and there is all these beautiful things on the planet that are waiting for you, and things that are reaching out to you. For me, what helped was, there are 3 things that I think you should be taking care of, and that's, obviously it's more broad than that, but take care of your physical health. You know, make sure you're exercising. You know, people, this is the most underrated, right?
Yeah, underrated.
It's underrated. I feel like exercise is so, like, it's missing nowadays in our lifestyles. Like, we live such sedentary lifestyles that we don't stay active. But a simple thing of going on a walk could save you from a bunch of shit. You know, just give yourself distance. Like, don't be scared to be like, oh, I'm heading out for a bit, I'm going to go on a walk. Don't feel shame for that. Like, I need to go on a walk. Like, I need to... And make that a healthy part of your life. And when you, like, let people know that this is part of your routine, people actually respect it, you know? And even if you have people in your family or life that are judgmental, eventually they'll come into terms with it. And, what I would say is stay active physically. Hit the gym. That's what really helped me a lot. Start reading books. Because relying on your own knowledge is so limited. Don't think you are God. Stop thinking you're God. That's the one I would say. Stop thinking you're God, because you're not God, and you're human, and you will fall. You'll fall short onto the ground, face on the ground. Life will test you, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
It will hit you when you're going, and it surprises you every time. It will hit you on your low
as well.
It will hit you on your lows and hit you on your highs, and you just gotta learn to be like, you know, this part of life. I'm gonna take these blows. The next thing I would say is read, meditate, and pray, and go to God. Don't be scared to face God, because if you feel like, for me, it was like I turned my back on God for so long that now turning to God at my lows is like, I felt like I don't deserve it. Because why am I coming to you when I need you? That's how I felt. And I think that's how we feel towards the people in our life. Like, why am I coming towards you when I need you, and I didn't talk to you before about this, you know? But that's when you need God and people in your life the most. So don't feel ashamed of going to people. get away from your circle, from your room. If you can travel. If you can get away, get away. It might be time for you to let go of certain people in your life, or let go of a certain job or a certain habit. Yeah. I'll say look at your life and assess it and see what you can do in your situation.
Yeah, that's a good bit of advice.
That's the best I can give. Hey man, there's different ways you can overcome it, but those are the things: diet, God, health, and yeah, that's what I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, basic stuff, man.
Basic
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What would you say?
Yeah, man. Bit of advice that I would give. Like you said, life can be hard. Life will test you so much, and although it feels like you're constantly stuck in, like you're stuck at like an endless staircase. You're constantly, or you're constantly going round in a circle. Like you will figure out a way to maybe break a hole in the wall and find another path, or you'll find a way to overcome something and build yourself up as a person. Don't let these things that are like overcoming you with negativity, don't let them affect what you do on a daily basis. You are your own person. You will learn to get over it. You can get over it. Don't be afraid to use any resources you have around you to help you get better, because that's what they're there for. They're resources. They're meant to be used. People that care about you would they want to know how you are. They want to know how you're doing. Don't be afraid to speak to them, and don't be afraid to be honest with yourself as well. I'd say. Yeah. Honesty is very important, and if you can be honest to yourself, and if you can love yourself, you'll be able to love so many more things endlessly. You have unconditional love for everyone else if you can find that unconditional love for your own person, for your own self.
Yeah, I like that.
For your own self. Don't be afraid and don't be scared. Learn to love everyone, but learn to love yourself as well, because you're important.
When you're going through it as well, it's time to be selfish.
It's a healthy selfish.
It's time to take care of yourself. It's time to be like, yo, I'm going through this. I need to come out of this.
Yeah,
and I need to get my distance. Create whatever I need to create to overcome the situation, man.
Be that good amount of selfish. Be a bit selfish.
Help yourself first.
If you are the most important thing in your own life, because without you, you're not alive. You're not alive. You're not present in this world. You have to again learn to love who you are and come to terms with who you are and want to be a better person before you can truly start loving everyone else like the way you want to actually love them and the way you want to actually take care of them. So
beautiful.
Learn to be one with yourself, I would say.
Yeah, man. And hey man, shout out to you, everyone that's watching this. I hope you guys obviously picked up something to take away from this, a message, or realizing that maybe you weren't so alone in going through things, because obviously you might see us on social media and be like, yeah, these guys are doing amazing, but we do go through a lot on a daily basis. As we speak, I'm going through shit. There's a war. Fucking war going on.
There's so many
and for
things,
you, there's so many shit going.
We have a lot of personal things, but it doesn't stop us from trying to do the positive things in our lives.
We still continue, man.
We still continue. We still try and plug on. We're still trying to be there for each other. Don't be like stuck in one place. Try not to be stuck in one place. Try and move both your legs. We're active. Let's stay active. Let's be.
Yeah. I think what's a beautiful metaphor for like depression is like, how a butterfly comes out of its cocoon.
Caterpillar.
Like a caterpillar. That transformation of turning into a butterfly and freeing yourself and becoming this beautiful person or this beautiful entity. That is what depression is like, going into that cocoon, going to that hibernation. It's a state where you can find the truth about whatever you're facing.
Exactly.
And what will come out of it will shock you. So just
wait. It will shock you, and it will shock the world. It's one of nature's craziest fascinations and weirdest things. But there's
so much blessings waiting for you. As soon as you come out of that, there's so many beautiful things that start happening to you.
And just because you see other people coming out of their shell and they're coming out of their cocoon and they're learning, they're like in that stage where they're happy they found their self. Don't be jealous that they found themselves. Be happy for them. Yeah. But don't time your lives with theirs. Your time will come. Your time will come where you're gonna 100%. Be like wow, this outlook I have on life, this outlook I have on myself, you've come out of your shell, you've come out of your cocoon, and people are going to notice that around you. And, you know, the people that are closest to you, they're going to be so happy for you, you know? So, you know, learn to accept that, and, you know, we'll all be okay at the end of the day. And we're all going to come out of our shell. But, we do appreciate everyone, like, who's still listening, who's, like,
if you're still watching this, shout out to you, man.
Shout out to you.
It's a very hard thing to also listen to as well, because it's a very uncomfortable topic for a lot of us, but for a bunch of us, it might be actually the most beautiful thing we ever hear, because it's like people don't talk about it as much.
I feel like it's a thing we have to talk about.
We have to talk
about these things. It can't just be something that is uncomfortable to talk about. It may be uncomfortable, and that feeling might not ever go, but I feel like it should be talked about.
By the way, what I've also realized is, like, those lowest moments, when you face those lowest moments, it makes you appreciate life in a different way when you come up.
The fuck?
Fuck, man, it was a fucking fly. It scared the fuck out of me.
Fucking hell, bro. Jesus Christ. He's got the shit out of me, bro. Fucking hell.
W prank.
No, fucking hell, man. I have to leave that in.
Leave that in, no. I'm leaving that in, bro. Be scared of a fucking fly, bro.
Oh, man.
No, because I felt something touch my leg, bro. Like,
oh my god, you just screamed out of nowhere. Fucking hell, man.
We gotta watch it back, man. Fuck.
That is too funny, bro.
No, that you're not keeping it, bro. There's no way that's coming out, bro. There's no way that's coming out. Alright. What was I saying?
We're giving thanks to everyone for listening.
Yeah, man.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, hey, man. I think we'll just wrap it up. But it's been a great episode. I hope you guys obviously enjoyed it and drew some life lessons.
Like, take some life lessons away. Should we read that one crazy story?
Alright, wait. Let's go back. Let's go. I hope you guys enjoyed this.
Do you not want to read the last?
Just wait.
Alright, cool.
I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. Obviously, we did talk about some heavy stuff.
It was a very heavy episode, but I mean, the last couple of episodes are all light-hearted. Obviously, it is June. We wanted to talk about something that we feel like is very important to us as well, because
it was important. It had to be.
We go through our own things.
We go through a lot, and it's beautiful to talk about it. And I learned a bunch from. I obviously talking about this is beautiful because I learned a bunch from Jordan. When we talk about it, we learn more about each other, and you guys learn more about yourself through watching us. And in the first episode, obviously, we asked you guys to send like a response in terms of what was the we asked you guys in the blah 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 blah. It was so good before.
It was
fucking threw me off.
Alright, so
in the first episode, obviously, we asked you guys to send your response in terms of what was your craziest story. If a gun was put to your head, as you told them, a entertaining story, what kind of story would you tell? And one of you guys sent a response. We're gonna read it.
I actually read a little bit of it. It's actually
I haven't read it. I haven't read it, by the way.
It's pretty crazy. So this was it says I was driving with my cousins in Poland for some spare parts for a friend's car, and we got lost. So we pulled into this driveway that kind of goes up a hill to look at maps. As my friend went to reverse out, he stalls the car, and we roll into the middle of the road. We are like, it's fine, it's a country road, so no traffic. We were wrong. We look to our left, and a lorry carrying logs is driving at us. The driver avoids us, but we all accepted our fate at that point. That is mental. That is crazy.
So a lorry almost crashed to them. And
it's like imagine we're sitting in the middle of a road right now, like we are, because we're in the car. We look to our left and we see just fucking headlights and a big ass truck with like fucking heavy ass logs, bro. Like, what do you do at that point? I'll be stuck like that. The way Ben's stuck right now, I'll be stuck like that. Like, well, shit, it's been good, bro. It's been good. yeah. It's been good. Like, I would probably accept my fate. No.
We're losing it, bro.
No, I would probably.
This is not the day to talk about this topic.
No, it was good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. All right, I think that is a good place to.
It's been It's been a beautiful episode.
Great episode.
And I hope you guys obviously enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And
wait, question. We need a question.
Question is...
Question.
How did you guys overcome your dark times? How did you guys overcome your dark times? And you can send us anonymously as well if you want. We like to hear what you gotta say, man. And
let's get this community built.
Let's build this shit up. And one day we are gonna have a whole Discord server, like a whole Patreon.
I mean, if one day we'll do a live. We're
gonna have a Reddit, bro. We're gonna have a Reddit.
Yeah, we'll have a Reddit. We'll do a live podcast episode where we can in real time get all your opinions,
talk to you guys about it. Yeah.
Do some one day I feel like and all of that, it's gonna be good.
Obviously, once we get more comfortable doing the podcast, we're gonna live stream. Yeah. We're gonna live stream it.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna post it.
You'll see less cuts and edits and all of that. Obviously, we're still getting used to all of this. So.
We're gonna get used to it.
But it'll be fun to look back on these episodes.
100%, and they're funny as fuck, and they're so real.
Yeah, they're real.
So yeah, man. Love you guys.
You guys know your questions.
Yeah.
This has been
drop it.
The episode of Laidback
and Loud podcast. I love you guys. See you guys in the next one, man.
MashaAllah.
Hey. Alright, that's it, man. I'm driving to a destination that I don't see, but it's gonna be beautiful. I'm losing the plot.